Hello everybody. All right, this is video number 2. I uploaded some info yesterday on simple things for those who are just starting to do their journaling. Again, you don't need anything special. I showed a whole host of different kind of journals, where to buy them on a budget, and you can start at the dollar store. Go to TJ Maxx, Ross, things like that. So the other thing to do is you can get some graph paper and use this. This is a scrap paper that printed some a little line of purple here, so I'm just going to use this today for the sample. Okay. The other thing is if you want to use some pretty little background, you can print out with your printer some kind of just color. I have some digital design backgrounds that I printed this out. Just learn how to manipulate your particular printer when you're going to print. Set it to full page, which still doesn't quite take it to the edge. There are times when you can make it a little bit bigger, well, anyway, to make it a little bit bigger to go to the edge. You can always cut down the slices to put it in and to fit into a folder easier if this bothers you, which it does me. Or you can cut it down to size and use it as a booklet. So you can do one of these, cut it in half, like so, and then just staple the middle size. So you can put a couple of pages together, and very simple, you have your own little booklet. Again, you can use construction paper or stationery paper. Maybe you're at Target or someplace where they've got stationery. Office Max, Office Depot, or not Office Max, Office Depot and so forth, sometimes will sell this kind of paper. You can do the same with the graph paper, because once you design on it, it will create its own little you'll create your own little style. So you can even mix and match and do this. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. Again, just plain paper. Now this one was a scratch paper, so I'm just going to use this today just because it's scratch paper. Make that the cover. And then my very, very favorite is the dotted paper. And I don't know if you can see that or not, because they're very tiny dots, but I love dot paper. And what I like about dot paper, and again, you can use your cheat to keep it straight, but you can really do some fun little designs and make squares and use your ruler. Spread it out. Make the center little flowers, and I kind of got to be careful because I tend to start hurrying, and then look what I did. I made it a little, but you know what, you can always adapt and make that rounded out, make it thicker so it doesn't look like a mistake. So you can always fix your flub ups, okay? So never be afraid of that. In the worst scenario, throw it out and start over, but don't look for perfection, okay? This is just your own little memories, and as time goes on, you'll perfect your rhythm and how you are going to find your own trick, your own method, because we all have different styles of writing. This is how I hold my pen. Some people hold their pen like this, some like this. It all changes how you write, the way you hold your pen, the type of pen you have, and so forth. So have fun with that. Give yourself a lot of grace when and if you make mistakes, and you will. I do. Every day I'll make some kind of mistake. I get to thinking of something else while I'm doing something easy, and then I make a mistake. And it's like, okay, I either cover it up or fix it, you know, or throw it out, start over again. So I'm just, for the fun of it, going to go ahead and this will just be my own little booklet that I'm going to make. Yesterday I was showing you some different pens and so forth. I'm not going to go through that again today, but I am going to add a couple of things. I am going to add that I did, because it went really long yesterday. It's about 50 minutes to an hour. I have my colored pencils in this little Tupperware bin thing that I bought a long time ago, and it just fits my pencils perfectly. I have a sharpener because some of my colored pencils are a little bit larger. This was Home Depot. I think I picked it up for like 50 cents or something like that many years ago. And it fits the larger colored pencils, and I don't have one handy right here with me. But somebody, maybe it was Office Depot when it was open, had the larger color pencils, and I couldn't sharpen it because my electric sharpener wasn't big enough. So I was at Home Depot one day, and I was like, oh, brilliant. You know, because they use those square pencils to mark their marks and stuff like that. And this is perfect for those big colored pencils. So I keep these handy, and most of mine, I do happen to like the Crayola colored pencils. For inexpensive, they're at Walmart. Walmart's the best price for the Crayola colored pencils. They're very smooth and crayony feeling, and I really like that. I have some portfolios, which I like a lot. I like my ink, or my the color part, the lead, to be smooth and like almost like a crayon, but not quite a crayon. Okay, so some colored pencils are very chalky and powdery, and I hate those because you really have to press in, and they don't color well. So some of those cheaper brands I just absolutely don't use. I throw them out. When some people have gifted me some, and they're just cheap crap, you know. And again, try them out and see. Maybe you'd like the drier kind, but I like the smoother kind. Staedtlers are okay. I usually like the Staedtler brand. They're from Germany. Usually no, I shouldn't say that. They are a better quality. These are not as smooth and crayon-like as the Portfolio or the Prismacolor. And the Prismacolors would probably be my top #1 favorite. I like mine to stay sharp, so I do go through them quicker, especially with my greens, because I do a lot of leaves and flowers. The purples and pinks, as you can see here, I use those a lot. So Prisma is my favorite, and you can get these at any art store or on Amazon. Michael's happened to have a fantastic price on these. They were, I think these might be about $24 regular price, and these were $10, which is super cheap because you get 12, so that's less than $1 each. And I love the tin. I love, easy to carry. It snaps well. And they have different sets of colors. So you can get the dark colors, the light colors. They come out with new sets. So when you see a set, I would say pretty much guarantee you should get it as soon as possible, because they do change up these kits in store. Now, I think you can go to Prismacolor, you're going to pay more, but Amazon tends to have some. But I would say with the art world, get this when you see something you want to try or you like, grab it when you see it, because the art world changes things up so quickly. This is made out of all wood. Does not contain rainforest wood. Let's see. So you got the colors here. So they do have different styles or sets of colors, and the Prismacolor is my favorite. Crayola would probably be my second favorite. You're limited with color, you know, the color scheme, but for the basic colors, the Crayola one is not bad. And again, Walmart is the cheapest for those, and especially when the school year starts, they always have sales on them. I do like Arteza. These are watercolor pencils, and I do have those when I do want to use the watercolor pencils. I haven't used that in a while, but I do like the watercolor pencils too. And again, I haven't found a brand that I really love, but Arteza is probably my first choice, but I do like the color, and you can build on the color with the colored pencils. So if you're shopping and looking around, definitely make sure that you see if it's a watercolor pencil. If you don't plan on using it as a watercolor pencil, stay away from it. You're not going to get the same kind of color as you would with these, okay? So that is one other set of tools that I use for my writing. And then I did want to show you guys some real quickly before I get into this next part here. These are Ohuhu, and these are on Amazon, and they're pretty popular. This has been around for a while, I believe. Not bad. They do dry out in about a year or so, but I do like these. These are metallic, and that's why I picked this particular brand, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's smooth, it glides, and it's got a little shimmer to it. So these are on Amazon, and they're metallic. Price-wise, I don't remember what I paid, but they're fairly inexpensive. Really like those a lot. A couple years ago, Costco had these, and it was these are zebra. Zebra is really expanding. I did find some zebra markers at the dollar store last fall. I don't know, and not all of them have these markers, and I'm trying to find, where did I put them? Oh my goodness, where did I put them? But anyway, this is, shoot, where did I put them? Well, Donna. So these are, they're called mild liners. It was a set at Costco. Again, they had a sale on them. It was one of those one-time wonders that they have. What I liked about the set was they had different kind of tips. I like the calligraphy. And then you have the fine tip on the other end. So I love that. They had a good variety. They were more pastel-y colors, but the price was right for a set of like 24. So those, and they're not best quality, but again, I like the calligraphy, because sometimes I do like to use the calligraphy in my work. And the distress markers are fantastic. They do last a long time. Ranger has a whole set of wonderful products. So if you go to ranger.com, check it out. The soft brush tip. The only thing I don't like is that it does curl up like that. So it's better to just use it for things like that, not so much writing. I will say that some, like this color here, the fine tip is super duper fine, and that part dried up pretty quick. So I'm not real happy about that, and I haven't found a solution. If you can dip it in alcohol or something that Ranger might carry to keep that, but it's kind of annoying because the fine tip side of these markers dries up. So that's the downside of these, and they're not necessarily cheap. I always buy mine clearance. Again, I love my Prisma colors. The great thing is they have the calligraphy side, and they have the newer brands are much better. So they have that nice tip. And this is a gray color. If you don't like smell, this is a bad, really marker smell. Back in the day, Prisma had the super fine tip as well. They got rid of that and are now using a regular tip. So I love that better. They definitely upgraded, because the fine tip, like Ranger, dried up super fast. And I don't get it because the inside of this pen marker has a really thick ink pad. So it's very surprising that the ink pad, or the ink on the fine tip, dried out so quickly. I will say nay, nay, no, no to the Artist Loft. Really crappy. I tried it because I liked the calligraphy side of it all. I like the triangular fit, but look what that it does. And then it gets glumpy. See that glumpiness? So, you know, when you go to Michael's, this Artist Loft brand, their brand, it's sketchy sometimes. So I definitely don't try it unless it's really cheap or clearanced. But when it's clearanced, it means they're usually saying bye-bye to it. So I'm using up what I have. This is an alcohol-based marker. It's definitely worth it getting the Copic, Go Copic. I haven't tried the Copic yet because I don't have the money to invest, because if I'm going to do it, I want to get the whole kit. I don't want to just get one or two. So, but I thought I wanted to try it and see how it worked. I would say when they're new, not bad. And I absolutely love this, the feel and the hold of this shape. The color schemes are great, but their felt is not good. This is another product I use here. The Crayola Twistables. I don't use these very often, but these are fun. They're fun. They're Twistables. Again, at Walmart, pretty cheap. Someone gave these to me, and you just kind of make them go up and down. Just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Totally worth it. What else do I have? I just kind of pick up markers here and there, try them out. This Tombow, definitely worth it. I've had this set. This is one of the first sets. It is the first set I ever bought. Again, I would say 10 years, maybe, at least 10 years, and they're just now starting to dry out. And I don't use my markers on a regular basis, but I like, and the tip on these is just right. It's perfect, because you can still do small, and if you wanted to like do the squares, or do a square, or just do the dots on this dot paper, perfect size. Not too clumpy, not too big, and the felt lasts. Look at that felt. And I do use the felt more than I use the tip, and it works real well and holds up very well. So Tombow is definitely worth the money. They're acid-free, and I like the fact that it's got two different tips. This is a generic brand I bought. Studio G, I have no idea, but the tip kind of goes funky. But smooth writing, but not for letter writing. Not for letter writing at all. But if you're just going to do some color in, like if I just wanted to do some color in space here, even that's kind of wonky. And this has only got the one tip. So those are some more of the markers and stuff that I use, and just to show you. And so there's that. Now, let's see. What else did I want to... So... We got into words yesterday, so you can do a lot of different things. If you want to do your journaling, you can get a calligraphy book almost anywhere, and practice that way. Go on Pinterest and pull up calligraphy or typography, and you'll have all kinds of different samples you can go off of and sample and try and play around. Again, going to the dollar store, getting just a cheap pad of paper and playing and writing. I've not perfected the different styles of calligraphy and typography, but I have fun with it, you know, so that's the thing. Have fun with it. I always end up going back to my favorite pens, and these are the ones I have on my desk right now. I showed you guys yesterday some RSVP, my Pilot, and my Precise V7. So, you know, you can do in your little booklet, you know, doodles. So I wanted to show you doodles. You can go on Pinterest, pull up doodles. That can give you some ideas. And again, scratch paper while you're watching a TV show and just play, 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 play. I had a sample doodle. Let me find where I put that. I think I put it down here. Yeah. So this was just one doodle page that I printed out yesterday. Again, I go to the one I use is Digital Design. Okay, they give freebies away, digital freebies away, and you could pull up Doodles. Just go browse, spend a half hour and looking around and see what they have. There's a lot of great sheets. You can get little pictures like these. You can get, I think sometimes some people will design words. Like this is one way to get words if you don't want to print out words, if you're journaling. And the other thing too is if you go to any stationery store, you can get sticker paper, and it comes in 8x10. This I got on Amazon. Look around for pricing. The prices vary. They can get super expensive or you can get decent prices. So you really got to do your research and spend time really searching around. But this is an 8x10. If you have a Cricut and you're that advanced, you can print the designs on here and then have it cut out with your Cricut using the SVG files, okay? Or you can just fussy cut it. And fussy cutting is just using your scissors and cutting it out. If you don't want to get into, like if you wanted to cut out like one of these flowers, you can just cut a square out. It doesn't have to be perfect around, you know, and get into the crevices. Just make a square, you know. So that's easy ways to use your whatever design and picture you have, okay? So I had just cut out my files here, and I'm just going to show you real quick. I'm just going to kind of prepare these. So I just kind of cut them out. And I will use these in my journaling. So when I'm doing my journals, and you can look at the video from yesterday and see how I designed I do a lot of designing with my quote-unquote mixed media journals or junk journals. And I use these little cheats just to add on because I love the mixed media. And one cool thing about this is when you get a file, sometimes they all vary, so you just got to play around and learn. Some will give you, like this particular artist that designed this graphic, offered a black and white, and then you can color it yourself, either through Photoshop or just color it with a marker. Or you can do it in this color. So every designer at this design.com place does it differently. It just depends on who, because it's a multitude of artists that are they make money selling their designs on here. And they're cheap, and there's a lot of different variations. So when you're creating these booklets and so forth, what you can do is, let's say I made a mistake there. I didn't want to show that. So I can cover that up like this. And then, now this is not big enough, but just imagine I had cut that larger. And that's going to cover that design. Or I can use washi tape. And again, depending on which kind of washi tape it is, this will probably show through, but that's okay. I can use a different color, you know, that'll hide it. So if you make a mistake, there's always ways around it. So I would glue stick this on here. And then what you can do, the other thing you can do is, so that, I made a mistake. I used that washi tape, but I can still see the mistake underneath it. Cover it up like that. Layering is your friend, okay? So I would just take the little guy here, and usually I have my little, okay, and voila, 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 okay, and then you're done. And then I could glue this on here. Now I'm not gluing this perfectly, so just for time's sake, Put that there. You can go ahead then, and I made some mistakes, so what I can do, and then I'm going to just make some fun little doodles. And then with these doodles, it's just giving it some depth. I'm going to make a heart. I heart on everything, on almost every page. That's my little love language when I'm creating. And if I wanted to go back and color those in and give color to it, because the sunflower is yellow, I can pull out my yellow flare. This is just a regular Papermate flare. They're not as good as they used to be. They dry up pretty fast. And just it gives it a little oomph. Okay. If I wanted to color this in, I could make this an orange heart just to stay in that same color scheme. I've got my little leaves and do that. I can even enhance it by doing this, and you can just see the punch that it gives. Okay, I can make another little dot and then go this way, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone black, but I can always go over it. And then the other thing I like to do too that gives it a little extra is to border in your whatever you've put in here. So it makes it's segments, okay? So when you do the little bordering, and then here I can color this in. I could get my Sharpie out if I wanted to make this easier. Now this will bleed through. So on this paper, this is just print paper, it will bleed through. So I'm going to have to know that I'm going to either cover that up with washi tape later. I can cover this up on top here. I didn't like how thin that was. And then I could even color this in because I can see the mistake of writing that I'm trying to cover. Now it looks a little icky. I don't like that. But I can always do a little washi tape over that. A different type of washi tape. What do I want to do here? I'm trying to find something handy and quick. Washi tape you can get on Amazon, different stores. It's sold everywhere. And again, I'm just being really fast here with showing you. So I can cover that up, give that a little extra oomph. I'm going to outline this, give it a border, just to make it stand out. I can do this, and then I can do this, and I can do one more. So Pinterest could be your friend. Instagram is another great place to look for ideas. If you do in the search box, and put doodles or typography or journaling, you can get all kinds of ideas. Now this I definitely want to outline because I want this to stick out. So these are just great ways to have fun when you see a little saying or, okay, so look in your mailing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me go back to here. Let me do this. So where can you get pictures and things that you might want to use in your journaling? Okay, and I'm going to pull out one of my journals to give you some ideas. Look in your mailbox. It's free. You get flyers with coupons colored flyers, you get advertisements, and you get cardboard flyers like from the real estate agents and stuff like that. You can use those. Cover it up with stationery or with scrapbook paper, and you could make your own little cover like that. That'll be in a whole nother video thing. So you can get like cardboard mailers, save those, especially if they're the bigger ones. During voting season, you're getting those monster ones. They're making those big flyers with that nice heavy highly matted, highly glossy advertisements for each of the politicians. They spend a ton of money on their advertising. Those are fantastic. I don't care who's on it, but I'm going to cover it up with stationery or with scrapbook paper, and I will use it for a cover for a book like this. So I can take my regular paper, inexpensive, staple it in the beginning, or you can, if you're really creative, get a needle and a needle and some thread or some yarn, thin yarn, and that'll be another video. But you can use that as a cheat. Staple it from in here if you've got one of those long staplers, which I do, and put it in there and staple. That's the easiest way to do it. But you can put a hardcover on it with one of those mailers. So look at your mailbox for the advertisements for your grocery stores, for you know, Easter was here, so there was a lot of Easter sales from like some local stores and stuff like that. You can get cute pictures and things and cut out what you want. Cut out words. I was showing you guys yesterday some different ways I collect words. So when I'm doing my journaling, and so maybe I want to put on this page here, okay, and again, I'm not trying to be perfect here, but I'm just giving you the idea. So you can make this kind of fun. And one day we were really slow at work. We didn't have any customers, so I sat down and I just cut out a bunch of letters. And so what I can do is I could just make a whole, you know, I want to be careful. I don't want to make any swear words or words that will make your mind necessarily prompt with this. So this particular page here is what I'm doing, or I could do, if I had the letters handy, or I could stamp them, but I can spell out and then I'm going to go ahead and just box this in. Again, I'm getting segments, so I'm going to dare to be, and I could go in and I could color it, and I can use blue. Now, I'm not matching colors here because I'm just pulling out what I have handy. And then what I want to do is just put a bunch of letters up here that don't make any sense. They're just letters. And just to show the uniqueness. You are unique. Different colors, different fonts, different styles. And I can just just by chance, I got you here, so I'm going to put that here and do that. So here I just made a real quick page, totally by accident. And so I would glue this in here. The other treat that I have is when I do get my mailers, I cut them up and I use them for scratch paper when I need to glue. And real easy. Just be careful you don't double glue over in the spot that you just glued, because then you'll get the glue on the front. Again, I'm not being precise here. I would probably be a little more picky and frame the letters out better, but I'm just kind of trying to give you some ideas of what you can do when you're journaling. So you can use your letters to spell out specific things like I did here with you. So the whole point is experiment, okay? It took me a long time to go from traditional journaling and just writing letters out. I have many, many journals that are just writing, okay? Many of them. So there's that. Now what I could do is bring this back in here. And then I could color this in. I could pull out my color pencils. And again, I'm just kind of doing this fast just to kind of show you how this could stick out. And just an idea of how you can journal to make it unique, make it your style. You can be as sloppy or as messy as you want to be, or as neat as you want to be. And then I could cover this, again, outline it. Outlining is your friend. And the big trend right now is just to kind of do this double thing. And I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom a little bit here too to make it cohesive together here, okay? So I can go in with another color yellow, highlight here if I wanted to. This is a bright yellow, so I can come in and then just fill in right here. And again, I'm being just really messy right here, right now, okay? I can come down here with this yellow. I don't like how that is. The fine tip is just not working very well. You can even then take and normally what I would do is put the yellow down first and then use the pen, because it's smearing and getting the pen ink on the tip. And you can use, I'm just, mushing it out over here to get that ink off of there, or I could use a baby wipe to wipe that off, but that's working fine. So normally if you want to do a highlight like that, is you would put your color down first and then use your pen, just so it doesn't bleed. Big tip. Then you can use, you can also use words, a whole paragraph of words. You can go on the next page and simply put one of these down like so, and then add on to it. And then just create your own little thing. I could use the washi tape. Again, I'm not gonna, I usually would do that whole thing, but I'm just being quick here because we're going into an hour or half hour, over half hour. Use some washi tape. Again, washi tape you can find on Amazon. You can Google washi tape and all kinds of companies. Go on Etsy. Some people make their own washi tape. And then just kind of add from there and color in and whatever you want to do. You can do like I showed you yesterday and create boxes. and then just fill it in. So again, it's just a matter of finding your own style. Find your style. Find what you like. You can add another, you can add a flower. Let's see here. I can, I don't want blue. I don't want orange. I don't have, what color do I want here? I've got this brown. So I can sit here and do, that. Do that. I don't want, I'm going to use my green. Boom, where'd it go? Here it is. Again, just playing with doodling, and I think most of us have doodled during class time when we're bored. So doodle, if you don't know how to doodle or don't know what you want your doodling to look like, just play. And again, you can go on Pinterest and put in doodling, and there's a whole, I mean, you can go on for days and just play doodling. I would like a certain kind of orange. And again, when you're layering and outlining, it really just gives depth to what you're doing when you do that outlining and everything. Oh, this was the right color for this. So this is kind of a fun way to make a unique card for somebody too. Okay, so there's that. And then you're going to go ahead and outline it. And again, you could make it like all perfect and, ooh, you know, just get right in there. But that's just kind of, you know, this is how I feel. If I want it perfect, I'm going to go and do graphics on the computer and use Photoshop. If I want it defined precisely, I use the computer, because then I can manipulate how big, how wide, with no extra stuff. When I'm doing this kind of stuff, it's fun. It's a free-for-all. It's a unique style. No one's going to copy this exactly like I've done it. So have fun with it, you know. And if you look, you know, again, if you're going to go on Pinterest or Instagram and you pull up junk journaling, mixed journaling, you'll see the trend and the style that has come out is loosening people up to have this fun, sort of messy, not messy, but like just a loose drawing sense, okay? And I just think that that just frees us up from perfectionism. Get rid of your perfectionism. I'm a photographer by trade, and I want my pictures to look right. So when I am working on my photographs, I want them to be right, okay? So let's see, I'm looking at my notes right now, and Yeah, da, 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 da. And if you want to do sketching, you want to learn how to do some drawing, again, Pinterest is your friend. And you can do that, learn that way. So this is one style of way of doing it. I would go ahead and either add more pictures or add more words up here, add big words, small words, a lot of words. You don't want it to look too, well, maybe you do want it to look collagey. That's awesome. Maybe you just want this to be plain. Boom. What I would do if you were going to just make this plain is grab your ruler and then just outline this. Oops, sorry. And I'm just doing this fast, sorry. And just to make that, and then maybe do a little connecting here. And there we go. So that's just a quick idea of how to use different papers. Again, using the dotted paper is so wonderful. I still would use my little ruler guide. And but what's nice about the dotted paper is that you can practice. It's a great way to practice, to teach your brain how to write fluidly. I can't say that I always do it right, but it really does help. I'm a pretty good eye because I've always liked calligraphy and writing. And when I'm really concentrating, I do it very well. But when I'm kind of getting tired, I want to get finished with the projects, I kind of loosen up, and then I get imbalanced with it. But if you're going to do... You can do boxed. Like so. So all kinds of things you can play with and do, you know, just practicing. So I do love using the dots. It really helps with, it's not the traditional lines, and then you can, you know, use it to draw as well. It's really cool to make circles this way, connect them however you want to connect them. And then I could go back and I could color them. These could be berries. And you know what? If you feel like you make a mistake, sometimes it's really not a mistake. And look, I just made berries. And then I can go in and make the leaves. And then if I wanted to make a vine, I could do that. And then go up here and then make more berries. Or grapes or whatever. Okay, so that's kind of just fun. Other trick is you want to keep things either in pairs or odd. So you want 3s, 5s, 7s. So I did 5 here, 4 here, so I really should do another one. Just to make it balanced. Okay, 1 is usually not, if you're doing 1 flower, but to do 1 leaf, unless you're purposely just drawing a leaf, to say maybe like I love you or I leaf you. And then just do it that way. So 1 is okay. So again, those are kind of things to think about. Do I want to do just 1 berry and 1 leaf? Or do I want to do a bunch of berries? You can do groups of them. You can make 5, make them bigger, make them smaller, and then do, you know, so you want to go odd numbers usually. So 3s and 5s. 2s are okay, you know, like you can do 2 leaves. But then it's like you usually want to do some kind of a flower in there. So one flower with 2 leaves, that's okay. Sometimes I'll even just kind of do one of these little deals, or I make sure I add some down here, okay? Before I end, I am going to show you one other quick thing. Which one do I want? This one I'm still working on. So just so you can see, I keep like, when I'm finding pictures, I will just put it in the journal that I'm making. And I have multiple journals going at a time. So here's a, I don't even know where this came from. I think it was already pre-made and I just printed it up. And I have that here just to put in one of my pages. This I did some watercolor in the back, and see how I did the numerous lines, and I broke it up. That's what I was going to show you. I filled it in down here with a couple flowers and leaves. I might go back and use my generic pen here and highlight biblical blessings there. I think I definitely want to do hope bigger. And when I'm making my journals, I always go back with the mindset of a loose feeling of, okay, I am going to audit my page. Not spend a lot of time thinking about it, but I'll think, you know, what does it need? You know, like right here, I just looked at this. I want to add dots here. And then I'm going to add dots here. It just, to me, it needed it. It just needed that little oomph right there. I'm going to come up here later when I'm more relaxed and less rushed, and maybe highlight this line a little bit more. Make biblical blessings bold. I definitely want to do this and do some changes. I think I'll add a couple more dots here. And so it just gives it a little extra punch, okay? Simple things like dots or a couple little lines, even hashtags, circles. So I didn't plan on doing this and adding, but at the moment when I'm looking at this, I'm like, yep, that just needs a little something there. And do it while you're thinking about it. Be impromptu. It's okay. Yeah, and that way you don't stress about it. Doesn't need, and if it's not coming to you, if you think I'm looking at my page and I can't figure out what I need to add to it, walk away from it. Come back tomorrow morning. Oftentimes I do my journaling in the evening, and then I get tired and I'm like, okay, I'm done. You know, when I'm feeling like, oh, I'm really trying to stretch it here, I close the book up or I let it dry if I've glued things or used marker or paints. Let it sit overnight, come back in the morning, and I'll look at it and go, oh, it's just like I want it. It's perfect. I'm done. I'm not going to add another thing to it. It'll make it look too busy. Or I'll say, oh, it needs a little something. And if you're not sure what it is, just go, okay, it needs something there. Hold on to it. Look through the other pages. Okay, yeah, these look good. Okay, yeah. That looks great. All right, yeah. And then after you've gone through some other stuff here, and then come back, and maybe you'll get that light bulb moment, okay? So again, it's not, I don't sit here at a page and go, all right, I want to have 8 sections. I'm going to have, I like to kind of roll with it. I use stamps on this one. I hand drew the arrow. I added this flower. I added this envelope. Here's John 6:23. I typed this out and printed it. You can use an old Bible. It's not sacrilegious. If it's a Bible you got that's falling apart, instead of throwing it away, use the pages. Use the whole page. Use sections of the page and use it into your journals, because the word is getting out. Okay, when you're using this and putting God's word, whether it's one sentence or the whole paragraph, you're getting it into somebody's hands, and it's amazing. So, like this here, I am going to color these. I'm going to just put pink, kind of purple pink here, and then probably come back with either color pencils or I'll probably fill that in with colored pencils later. Or actually, you know what, maybe I'll just do this one. Very light. Now see, because I just took some of that marker and it bled through. Or not marker, but that pencil. So you got to be careful when you're filling in, because the gel pens will bleed. The only ones that don't bleed are the microns. These do not bleed. So this is why a lot of people use these all the time, because they don't bleed. But if you're using any of these other pens that I suggested, they will bleed when you're coloring. If you're using a dark color, it blends better. But when you're using a lighter color, and I saw that right away, and I pulled back a little bit, lightened up the heaviness of writing. So this was a picture I took here. Again, I'm a photographer, so I have a host of pictures that I utilize. I'm starting to do that more because I have hundreds of thousands of pictures that I really need to put into my journals. And again, I use some graphics, like this came from that design company I gave you the, and I'll post all that down below when I'm done uploading this video. So, yeah, so this is just kind of an idea. This one I just is strictly just writing. What I could do, I have to pull out my washi tape. I might add a little bit of washi tape in here somewhere. I gotta find some black and white ones just to give it a little oomph. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave this one purely just a written. Now see here, right here, I'm noticing I don't like this space, but I don't want to color it in. So I'm just going to simply use dots. You can do little hashtag marks, the slashes. That would work as well. I'm going to pull that down and put a couple here. Put a couple here. And put a couple here. It just gives it fluidity when you're coming down. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little. I don't think I like this. I shouldn't have done this. I don't like the way that came out. So I probably will add something to it just to make it not look so. So there's that. Again, here's another picture that I printed out. I did a little drawing of this church here. Again, more pictures. This is a graphic. This is one of my pictures. If I wanted to, right here, I could put in a 5x7 picture right here, fill that in. I might do that. Here is an old Bible, one of those generic cheapy ones, like for $3. And I just use that for sections of Bibles that I want to get the whole, that whole paragraph in. Writing it out would take more time and space. And here you get the straight Bible, small font, boom, it's there. Okay. Musical sheets, I use those a lot, which is kind of fun. Most of us like music. Vellum is another way you print on vellum, and I love that look. You can even do an insert. Again, that's another video for another time. So I'm going to end here. We're at an hour, and so I hope that was helpful to you. Little lessons on how to start with your journaling if you're brand new at it. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.